I didn't even hear the knock. It was the pounding that rattled the door. When I opened it, red and blue lights bled into my hallway. Two officers stood there, hands resting near their belts, expressions flat. "Ma'am, we received a report of child neglect," one of them said. My chest didn't tighten. My hands didn't shake. I had been expecting this. My sister was reckless, but she was predictable. I used to admire her. Claire, the golden one. When we were kids, she was all light and charm, the daughter my parents could parade. I was the quiet shadow, the listener, the helper. She used to braid my hair before school and whisper that she'd always take care of me. That was before she realized I'd take care of her instead. It started small, borrowed clothes that never came back. My car disappearing for a weekend with a tank empty and a ticket tucked under the wiper. She called it sharing. I called it survival, because saying no meant war. And then came the children. Two small faces, innocent, heavy with the kind of silence that comes from watching too much. She called me on Fridays with that tone, half desperation, half command. "Just for the weekend, okay?" I believed her the first time. I didn't after the fifth. The last straw wasn't the kids themselves. It was her, standing in my kitchen with her arms crossed, voice sharp enough to slice glass. "You're selfish," she hissed when I told her I wasn't her built-in babysitter. "They're your family. You're supposed to help." "Helping," I said, "is not being manipulated." Her face twisted. She threatened to call our parents. I told her to go ahead. She did more than that. An hour later, the cops arrived. They searched the apartment. They saw the children in clean clothes, full plates on the table, homework neatly stacked in their backpacks. My record was spotless, my job stable, my apartment safe. The report was smoke, nothing more, but I knew this wasn't the end. Claire had crossed the line from selfish to dangerous. So I shifted. I stopped being the sister who endured. I became the sister who planned. Step one was silence. I didn't argue, didn't lash out. That's what she wanted, noise she could twist into proof. Instead, I documented. Every drop-off, every text, every voicemail where she screamed about her right to dump her children on me. Step two was patience. I waited for her pattern to repeat, and it did. 2 weekends later, she dropped the kids off again without asking, keys jingling as she rushed to meet a new boyfriend. I kissed the children goodnight, then forwarded the proof to a lawyer I had already retained. Step 3 was exposure. Claire thought she was untouchable because she had charm, because our parents always bought her tears. But charm doesn't erase evidence, and tears don't impress a judge. The day of the hearing, she strutted into the courtroom in heels too high, makeup too bright. She told the story of her saintly sacrifices, her cruel sister who abandoned her. She cried, trembled, painted herself as the victim. Then my lawyer stood, calm, unshaken. He played her voicemails aloud, her voice shrill through the speakers. "You don't get to say no. They're your responsibility too, whether you like it or not." He displayed the timestamps of her weekend disappearances, the screenshots of her demanding texts. Then the photographs. Her children asleep on my couch at 2 a.m., still waiting for her return. The silence in that courtroom was heavier than any scream. Claire's mask cracked in real time. The judge ruled swiftly. Custody transferred. Child Protective Services alerted. Claire's visitation rights restricted until she completed a mandatory program. That night, she stormed into my building, fists pounding the door the same way the cops once had. But this time, I opened it on my terms. Her mascara streaked, her voice breaking. "You ruined me," she spat. "No," I said, steady. "You did that yourself. I just stopped cleaning up the mess." Her scream was wild, feral, echoing down the hallway as the neighbors peeked from cracked doors. But it didn't matter. She couldn't touch me anymore. It wasn't revenge for the tickets or the clothes or the years of being second best. It wasn't even for the cops at my door. It was for the children. For the nights they fell asleep asking where their mother was. For the mornings they woke up and found me instead. I didn't just take her down. I took away her power. And in that silence, after the courtroom, after the confrontation, I found something I hadn't felt since I was little: relief. I still remember the flashing lights that first night, the officers' wary eyes. But when I see them now, it isn't fear that grips me. It's a reminder. A single choice split my life into before and after. Before, I was the shadow that carried everyone else's weight. After, I became the architect of my own justice. And justice, I learned, is never loud.